What's up, my Madden Rebo Warriors? My name is David. This is Franchise Revival, and today we're bringing you episode 3 of the Saints Playbook Rebuild. Yes, we're rebuilding the Saints, but the main purpose is to use the Saints offensive playbook to see how good it can be. It's one of the best playbooks at throwing the ball to the running back, so we want to see how many yards we can get out of our running back through the air and through the ground. Can we get a 2,000 yard from scrimmage running back? We'll find that out. And also, can we win a Super Bowl finally? In this episode, I apologize. I'm a little quiet, a little under the weather. I was pretty frustrated as our team got better and got abilities. We started to struggle more, and then we had to make adjustments and fix that. So this episode is about putting together an amazing team, taking a step backwards, and having to fix that so we can get to this moment right here in this episode. So let's get into it. We've made some moves. I'm not going to cover them all. We've cleared up cap space. We made some re-signings. We brought back 3 big names. And who we're targeting here, we're going after a kicker, Jake Bates. Lander Barton. Hopefully we can land him. He wants to come here real bad. I'm going after Nick Harbor. This dude is 6'5", 235, 96 speed, and 90 acceleration. That's insane. Lander Barton, DJ Lander Barton. I already said his name. DJ Lagway, bring him back as a backup kicker, and Damian Vick. We released and traded off some good players. We got a lot of draft capital, so let's get to the draft. So we're at our first pick of the first round, and we have our pick of the litter of who the hell we want to take. And sticking with the LSU theme here, we got a run stopper. 1B, 2 C's and an A. 6'3", 307. Not the heaviest guy, but he's pretty strong. And he's got elite acceleration, good speed, and great strength. This is probably going to be our DT2. Hometown boy. Number 6 in true value. We got him at 17. Wish he had a dev, and I wish he was a little bit faster, but we'll take that 86 acceleration and 92 strength. Well, here we are at pick 25 of the first round, and we still have our pick of the litter as far as players go. And it's just about, how can you pass up on either one of these 3 fine gentlemen here? And a good safety. I'm really intrigued by this speed rusher. Can never have enough. He's got to be really good. Number 33 in true value. We got him at 25. How could I pass up on him? He's 85 speed, 88 acceleration, 78 strength. 6'3", 241. Hopefully that's a really good development. So we'll take multiple pass rushers because we need help on defense terribly. Capital to move from the 25th pick of the second round to the first pick of the second round. We're giving up our 3rd and a 5th this year, and we're going to take a top 5 corner. I don't want to wait to see if he falls. So, and guess where he goes to school? LSU. Deshaun Arnold, top 5 corner, 3 Bs, a C, 6 foot, 200 pounds, 22 years old. Number 4 in true value, we got him at 33 overall, 94 speed, 94 acceleration, 57 strength, hidden development. Let's go. All right, we're at round 2, pick 32, and we really need a left outside linebacker, and we got one right here. Alonzo Callahan, 246, 6'3", out of Utah, run stopper, 21 years old, 2 A's, 2 B's. He's got a real nice 40 at 4.61, elite acceleration, great speed, good change of direction and jump. Number 19 in true value, we got him 64, 84 speed, 91 acceleration, 74 strength. No hidden development, but this guy should grow to be a really nice addition to our defense. Okay, so at pick 75, we got the number 36 true value left guard here, Kevin Cummings. He's 81 acceleration, 66 speed, 89 strength, and hidden development. 6'2", 324, 22 years old. That's a nice key right there. That's a good addition. Kevin Castro out of LSU is a 77 overall normal development defensive tackle. He's going to be our DT2 out of the box. Zach White, we moved him over from left outside linebacker to left end. He's still a 74. Hidden development, and then you got Deshaun Arnold. He's top 5 corner, 77 overall, and he's got no development. Alonzo Callahan, our new left outside linebacker. He's hidden development, but I think he's only a star. Left guard Kevin Cummins. He's hidden development. He is a star, I believe. Then you got Malachi Hill. We got in the 4th round. Traded up for him. And he's only normal development, but this is one of our better drafts. So I'm going to take it. Welcome to the 2030 season. We're an 88 overall team, 89 on offense, 87 on defense. Let's take a look at the roster here. You know most of these guys. Drew Aller, he's a superstar X Factor. Tootin, he's a superstar. We got Walker is our fullback. Hill is the 2nd-year wide receiver. I believe he is still a superstar. Or no, he was an X Factor. He went down to superstar. You got Xavier Worthy, who's an X Factor. Will Campbell, Patrick Paul, Preston. The rookie is starting for us at right guard, and Fuaga is at right tackle. You got 91 overall superstar Gentry and Durbin, who is a superstar. Actually, I thought they were both X Factors. I don't know why it doesn't show that they're X Factors, but I believe these are both X Factor tight ends, and Durbin's in the slot, of course. And then you have Castro, the rookie. He's already up to an 81 overall. McDowell, who played so good for us last year. And you have Turner and Jamar Stewart with the rookie White backing them up. You got Gray, our CB2 with Arnold. He's already an 81 overall. He surpassed OJ. McKinstry's still a superstar, I believe. Maybe even X Factor. And you got Rutland still. I switched Spears and Dynaman because maybe it'd just be better that way. Duvall is our starting right outside linebacker. Lander Barton, middle linebacker, and then the rookie Callahan. So there you go. There's our team. I'm pretty excited about this season. Granted that I think these abilities suck. So let's... I just got people are going to kill me for my take on abilities. All right, so we're going to advance together, and hopefully we can get this dub against a really good offense for the Cowboys. And we do. 24-17. The defense came to play. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what we got going on here. Drew Aller still throwing interceptions, but not as many this time. 283 yards passing, 3 passing touchdowns and interception. I guess Tootin got hurt. I just don't get it, man. George Hill, 6 receptions, 113 yards, 1 touchdown. Xavier Worthy, 10 for 102 and 1. Nick Harbour got into the game. This is just a... What are we still in preseason? All right. And then defensively, tackles for loss, Jamar Stewart, Dallas Turner, McDowell, Dallas Turner, and Jamar Stewart all combined for 3 sacks. And then no interceptions. But hey, the Cowboys are such a good team. We lost some to them in the playoffs last year. And just like that, we're having the most amazing season ever. We're at the halfway point of the 2030 season. We're 4th in points scored, 2nd in pass yards, 2nd in rush yards, 1st in points against, 4th in pass yards against, and 2nd in rush yards against. I don't know what's happening. I don't know. 9-0. 9 times we won in a row to start this season. I don't think I've ever started a season that good. Maybe once, and we lost within the last 3 weeks. Drew Aller, he could be a lot better. Passing wise, no. Touchdown wise, yes. I mean, yardage wise, he's pretty good. He could be better at the touchdowns, but Payshaw Tootin, 15 touchdowns. What the hell? And we're only halfway through the year in a playbook that's supposed to throw him the ball. So there's that. George Hill, 43 catches, 709 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Xavier Worthy did miss. I cannot speak, man. I was gonna go to bed, and I'm not gonna go to bed and break this streak. Yeah. So Xavier Worthy missed 2 games, and then you got the tight ends here, and Deion Burks, he filled in for a couple games and did pretty nicely. So there's that, and also Shamar Stewart is absolutely killing it. He already has 12.5 sacks. It's amazing. Graham McDowell, this is a really good defensive tackle for us. And Dallas Turner, 4.5 sacks. Excuse me. And somehow OJ Frederique Jr. has 2 interceptions. So there's the halfway point. If you'd like to comment, you can guess right now if we're going to go undefeated for the regular season, that is. Looking at the contracts, oh boy, we got Drew Aller who needs to be re-signed. Yeah, he's going to take up a lot of our draft capital. Of course, Deshaun Spears, Christian Gray, who we figure we're going to lose. Will Campbell has to be re-signed. He was franchise tagged. So those are the main guys, and then Jake Gentry needs an option. So we'll see where we go from here. But yeah, it's looking pretty good. At the playoffs, the 2030 playoffs, we got the bye. We're 13-4, 90 overall team with a 92 offense, a 90 overall defense. 4th in points scored, 3rd in pass yards, 3rd in rush yards, 3rd in points against, 6th in pass yards against, and 3rd in rush yards against. Now, going week to week, I did not feel like we had this good of a team. Just something was off. I think it'd be Drew Aller's yards and his touchdowns. Like, he threw for 4,500 yards. I mean, he's the best he's ever been. He only threw for 25 touchdowns. He threw 13 interceptions. Now, someone hit me up asking about interceptions. I swear there was an update that just came out recently, and maybe, I don't know. Maybe we're getting too many interceptions now. I don't know, but look at this. Payshaw Tootin, 274 carries, 1,300 yards, and 27 rushing touchdowns. This playbook is supposed to be a passing playbook to the halfback, which was, 46 catches for 445 yards is really low for him. George Hill had 83 catches for 1,100 yards. Xavier Worthy missed 2 games. He had 74 catches for 1,000 yards. Jake Gentry had 79 catches for 831 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns. By the way, some of these goals are stupid because they wanted me to get him more catches, and he did get them the rest of the way, and they said he didn't. So it's just very dumb. James Durbin did have 65 catches for 694 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns in the slot. And defensively, Lander Barton, 107 tackles. Shamar Stewart had 14 tackles for loss. Darryl McDowell had 11. And then Shamar Stewart put it all together this season, 17.5 sacks. Darryl McDowell had 9, and Dallas Turner had 9. So definitely, and the rookie had 4.5. So definitely one of the better seasons for us statistically, defensively, as far as the stats go. And I want to look at this. Holy shit, the Vikings had 68, the 49ers had 64, and here we are in the top 5, tied for the 4th. We did have 12 picks. I mean, 68, 64. Those are some numbers for sure. We can take a look at
the NFL. Joe Burrow threw for 4,900 yards passing. Led the league, tied with Jordan Love for 48 passing touchdowns, followed by Bryce Young and Caleb Williams. Shedeur Sanders still getting it done. Arch Manning. And then Bayshaw Tootin led the league in touchdowns, beating out in rushing yards and in touchdowns. He had 4.9 yards a carry. That's awesome. 27 rushing touchdowns. Nick Morgan, whoever that is, had 19 touchdowns. C.J. Baxter, Trey Benson, blah, blah, blah. Rashee Rice had 121 catches for 1,800 yards and 20 touchdowns. What does he have on him? Grab and smash, short in, persistent, and second wind. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. Jamar Chase had 1,700 yards. What did he have on him? Double me, and he's got just what he normally has. Well, we all know how good those two playbooks are, for sure. Brock Bowers had 107 catches for 1,300 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. Joey Reveron, whoever that is, looks like he's in the slot for the Packers. And Jamar Chase, Brandon Ayuk, and Rashee Rice, all, always up there with Amon-Ra St. Brown as touchdown leaders. Patrick Queen led the league in tackles. Will Anderson tackles for loss. Aiden Hutchinson had 29 sacks. Nick Bosa had 27. What? He's got edge threat, speedster, extra credit, relentless. I mean, he's in a 3-4 playbook. He's a 3-4. He's a 4-3 end and in a 3-4 playbook. So there you go. Interceptions, Will Johnson and JOK. I think Will Johnson's been here every year for like the last 2-3 years. He's got reinforcement, strip specialist, unfakeable, bench press, and now deep zone knockout. Wow. All right, anyway, that is where we're at. We are trying to re-sign Drew Aller in the offseason. We did bring back one of our backup corners because we're going to be losing one. So let's get to the next round, and we'll see what's going on. All right, so we're in the second round of the playoffs now. We're at home. We're taking on the 49ers, who are 88 across the board. They're in Atlanta's playbook, and that has a lot of 3-4 formations, and that is why Joey Bosa, who is a 4-3 DN, is going off. And we can look at the playoff bracket real quick. The Lions beat the Buccaneers. The Giants beat the Commanders. And the 49ers beat our division rival Panthers 31-3. And then on the AFC side, New England, who is, guess what? They're in both Bills playbooks, so they'll now dominate that division. They take on the Ravens, who beat the Colts. The Broncos beat the Raiders, who are in the offense of the Chiefs, which is why Brock Bowers went bananas. And the Broncos will take on the Bengals, who beat the Dolphins. So let's advance together. We trained. They're missing their best corner, but other than that, they're pretty healthy. Although Brandon Ayuk is really old, and he's only 87, 88 speed and acceleration, but I mean, he's still really good. So I like our chances here at home against a lesser team, but you never know. And we fucking lost. Dude, Drew Aller has not been good since he got fucking abilities. All these goddamn abilities, I'm telling you, they fucking suck. Well, you can look at the stats here. I was feeling so good about this season. I wasn't feeling good about it coming into the season, and then we played so nicely at 9-0, and then what a waste. Absolute fucking waste. Pro Bowl roster, Drew Aller is QB1. Tootin is HB1. I believe that is our fullback, Walker. We have no wide receivers that made it. Will Campbell made it as our left tackle, followed by Fuaga as our right tackle. Ruiz made it, but we traded him away, so we no longer have him. Shamar Stewart made it as left end number 2. It's time Joe Burrow wins MVP. Coach of the Year goes to Lewis Fox, whoever that is, of New England. And looking at the NFC awards, Bayshaw Tootin gets Offensive Player of the Year. That's pretty nice. Aiden Hutchinson and Nick Bosa outdo Shamar Stewart. Najee Sweet is Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Eagles. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Greg Keaton of the Cowboys. Best QB is Jordan Love over Caleb Williams and Nico. I can't say Nico's last name, but he was someone we were supposed to draft instead of Drew Aller later the next year. Bayshaw Tootin, Best RB. Brandon Ayuk, Best Wide Receiver. Cody Malk, Best O-line. Best D-line, Aiden Hutchinson. Best Linebacker, Nick Herbig. Best DB, Renardo Green. Best Kicker, Lane Scott. And look at the 2030 season recap. The Broncos beat the San Francisco 49ers, and wide receiver Ryan Wingo is your Super Bowl MVP. That's an unusual one there. And as we head to re-signing period, I hope Drew Aller doesn't take our offer, because he just wants, right now, he's got an offer on the board for like $475 million over 7 years, and he can't take it. So I'd rather just franchise tag him at this place, because it's probably cheaper. All right, so we couldn't reach an agreement with Drew Aller, so we had a franchise tag him, and that was for $70 million. So we now only have $12 million in cap, and we can't sign Will Campbell. Not going to bring back Christian Gray. He's too much, and I really want to figure out how I can bring back Deshaun Spears, but he's now a superstar X Factor, and he's like way out of our league. So maybe I can move some things around, but I don't think that's going to happen, so we'll see.
All right, so looking at the free agency recap, we brought back AJ Cole. We brought in Jaheim White, fast receiving running back here out of West Virginia. Only 5'7", 200 pounds, and really weak, but he actually looks like a wide receiver a little bit with his strength. And then we have Luke Reynolds coming back, DJ Lagway to back up Drew Aller, and Joe Smith is a 22-year-old, 69 overall right tackle that I think would be pretty good in the long run. So here we are at pick 28 of the first round, and we have a lot of options on here for us. And we're actually going to skip over the LSU product here. He is a round 2 through 3 talent, so that makes that easy. And we're going to pick Will Callaway. He's 6 foot, 200 pounds. He's the fastest safety. He's got 8 hit power for a zone safety at 21 years old. We'll take it. Number 23 in true value. We got him at 28. Hidden development, 91 speed, 89 acceleration, 68 strength. Let's go. All right, so we're trading up from our first second round pick, our first third round pick, and our sixth round pick to the first pick of the second round with the Vikings. All right, so at the first pick of the second round, we have a 6'4", 309-pound, 22-year-old run-stopping defensive end, but he's more defensive tackle in our scheme. B, block shed, B, power move, A, tackle. He's faster than any defensive tackle in this draft and stronger than any defensive tackle. So we're going to reach up here and grab him. Great depth, and someone we can build up for when we can't pay for our other D tackles. Number 37 in true value, we got him at 33. Hidden development, 78 speed, 84 acceleration, 92 strength. Comes up here in the third round to jump ahead and draft number 50 true value left guard. Got him at 66, 6'5", 330. Hidden development, 70 speed, 82 acceleration, 87 strength. Hunter Trammer, number 234 in true value. We drafted him way ahead of where he should have been at pick 105, but there's a reason.
fastest quarterback I've seen so far in this rebuild. 6 foot, 213, 21 years old, 94 speed, 90 acceleration, 91 throw power. I think we have a replacement here for a certain quarterback if we need to. All right, so looking at the draft recap, Will Callaway, our free safety, hidden development star, 75 overall. Taylor Stovall, the DN, he moved inside. He's a hidden development star player. Nolan Spitzer, actually Jerry Kennedy's better than him, but they're both star development players. Hunter Tramer, out of New Mexico, 21 years old, 66 overall, 94 speed and 90 acceleration, 91 throw power. He could be our quarterback of the future. I'm not afraid to build that guy up. Let him sit for a year. Cortez Best, 72 overall. Nice depth piece here. Backup running back we need it. And Derek Harris, a little bit of a miss there, but we can take a look at to see how time to start the 2031 season. It's getting to crunch time to get Mr. Bayshall Tootin to 1,000 catches. I don't want to cheese it by putting him in the slot, but that might have to happen depending how we're going towards the end of the season. I don't know why he got so many freaking rushing numbers last year, but especially his touchdowns. I mean, this is supposed to be a playbook that throws the ball, and he led the league in rushing yards and touchdowns. Drew Aller, superstar X Factor. Bayshall Tootin, superstar X Factor. We're missing Xavier Worthy. He's a superstar, so he's out. You got Durbin, who's starting now over Gentry, who's a higher rated player. But Durbin is also our slot. They're both X Factors. Actually, Durbin's as a superstar. You got Fuaga, Cummings, Knox has to start because Preston is out. We're starting the rookie Kennedy over Knox and Patrick Paul. We do need to, worry about our adding offensive talent on the offensive line coming in the future here. We're missing McDowell, so we got Stovall, the rookie, starting over Castro, but Castro's the rush DT. Shamar Stewart and Dallas Turner, they're both 88s overall, and neither of them ever, are good enough to get a development increase, which is freaking cool. You got McKinstry, Arnold, Rutland, and OJ over here on our corners, and Malachi Hill is really fast, and he's both returners for us. You got Thieneman and Spears starting. Spears is our sub linebacker. Got Calhoun, Lander Barton, and Duval as our linebackers. We're going to try something here with the abilities. Still trying to figure them out. We got Gambit on Drew Aller. And then we went with like a bunch of pocket superstar abilities here. You got Anchored Extender, Protected, Fearless, Pocket Deadeye, and Pass Lead Elite. So we'll see how these work out. And for Tootin, he's now Satellite with Short Out, Grab and Go, and Matchup Nightmare. Who knows if any of those will help him, but hopefully they do. So let's advance together and see how we do in the first week of the season. We're missing a bunch of players, but it is what it is. And we also trained we strategize on offense to blitz pickup. And I heard that might be a good thing, but not working out so well here today. Drew Aller, 267 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bayshall Tootin had 12 carries for 60 yards and 5 yards to carry. Receiving wise, Landon Humphreys had 10 for 103. Bayshall Tootin had 5 for 43 and a touchdown. That's a good start there for him as far as receiving. Taylor Stovall, the rookie, getting a sack. It could be just an injury thing, but we'll see you at halfway to see if we can figure out what works for this team. All right, we're at the midway point of the 2031 season. We are 3-5, really struggling. We did win 2 of the last 3 games? But 88 overall team, 89 on offense, 87 on defense. just really, really struggling here. And I don't know if it's because of abilities or what, but I'm going to change the playbook. I mean, look, we're even 31st in rushing. How are we number one in rushing last year, pretty much, for our running back, and then we can't run for shit this year? I'm going to say it's abilities. Stats wise, Drew Aller, 2,100 yards passing, 14 passing touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a QB rating of 117. I mean, he's really not the problem. Bashaw Tootin, for some reason, has gone backwards in rushing. Xavier Worthy, he's missed 2 games. George Hill, he's not really someone who can fill it, take his spot right now. James Durbin, he's not doing great. Bashaw Tootin does have 30 catches. He has a couple big games, and he'll go over, 60, 70 catches. So I don't know. I did get a message between recording the last segment and this one. Oh yeah, we're also missing our best defensive tackle this week. Sacks are down. I don't know what's going on. One of my things I think Drew Aller needs to be re-signed, and he's not re-signing. And now we can't re-sign him because it's saying the cap's all messed up. So we're probably going to lose him unless I can do something in the off season. I mean, even when it says I have money, I like it won't let me offer it. So that's messed up. But in honor of my man who sent me a message from the last time I recorded the last segment to this time, DIA with JP, talking about how the channel has helped him win a Super Bowl in his slow sim league. He switched to the Bills defense, and he used the Bengals offense, and he won a Super Bowl, and he was like number 1 in defense almost the entire year. So in honor of him, we're going to change our defense. We need to do something drastic here. I don't know what's going on. I tried changing schemes and everything, and it didn't work. So we switched to Bills. We're in the cover 4 quarters scheme. We train, stop the deep ball, and hopefully that can fix our defense. So let's simulate together and see if we can get a win here in a new defensive scheme. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, we did. Let's look at this game real quick. 34-13. We got to get on a run here. Drew Aller even played better. 323 yards passing, 2 passing touchdowns. Bashaw Tootin already up his average. Receiving wise, Xavier Worthy 8 for 103 and 1. And didn't throw the ball much to Tootin, but everyone else did pretty well catching the ball. Got 1 sack at Dallas Turner. Thought we'd get more. Thought we'd get some interceptions. But I'll take it. So we just gotta get on a winning streak here and get into the playoffs. So we'll see you then. 2031 playoffs. We made our run. We went 10-7. 90 overall team, 91 on offense, 89 on defense, 8th in points, 3rd in pass yards, 26 in rush yards, 11th in points against, 6th in pass yards against, and 12th in rush yards against. We'll take a look at the stats before we take a look at our matchup this week. Drew Aller back up to 4,800 yards passing, 33 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, QB rating of 121. Rushing wise, Bashaw Tootin only 891 yards rushing, 14 TDs. I wonder if that has to do a little bit with the offensive line. Dude, I don't know why he all of a sudden went this far backwards in rushing, but he did. Drew Aller did have 6 rushing touchdowns, and Quentin Joyner, he added 4 touchdowns on the ground. George Hill had 86 catches for 1,100 yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. Xavier Worthy only had 78 catches for 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns, but he did miss 4 games. He went up to an X Factor, and he's complaining because he's not getting catches. Durbin in the slot had 59 catches for 793 yards and 7 touchdowns. Jake Gentry had 64 for 643 and 5. Now, these guys kind of switched off halfway through the season. Who was starting? It was Durbin. He was starting as the tight end, and then it went to the slot sub package. And then when we were making big changes, we moved Gentry to number 1 because he has a higher overall. Durbin was a number 2 tight end, but was still in the slot. Bayshaw Tootin only had 60 catches for 612 yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. And this Landon Humphreys, 32 catches for 414 yards and a touchdown. He filled in really nicely when Xavier Worthy was out. So he'd be a guy I might like to keep at some point if I could, depending on the Drew Aller contract. Sean Spears, 109 tackles, followed by Lander Barton. Tackles for loss, 12 for Dallas Turner, 12 for Kevin Castro, 11 sacks for Dallas Turner, 9 for Darryl McDowell, 8 for Shamar Stewart, and 4 for Castro. Interceptions was not good. We could take a look at the overall leaders. In fact, we will. Joe Burrow just continues to be a monster. Dylan Raiola, he's great in the Rams. He threw for 4,900. Joe Burrow had 5,000. Joe Burrow also had 52 touchdowns. I mean, Patrick Mahomes kind of fallen off. Drake May had a good season. Jordan Love continues to be amazing. Ashton Genty led the league in rushing, followed by Dylan Sampson, Caden Durham, and Ollie Gordon. As far as touchdowns go, Omarion Hampton had 16, and he missed. They really fell off here at excuse me. In the Steelers, only rushing 191 times in 16 games. And Bayshaw too was right behind him. Oh boy. Excuse me. Puka, 136 catches, 2,000 yards, and 18 touchdowns in the Rams. Rashee Rice, 123 catches, 1,800 yards, and 27 touchdowns in the Chiefs. Joey Reveron, he had 116, and Bobby Brinkley had 102. Oh my God! I mean, the Bengals like get a secret boost here. Jamar Chase had 2,000 yards and 29 touchdowns. This is fucking Jamar Chase 29 touchdowns, Rashee Rice 27, Antonio Williams 24. Rome Odunze had 20, and there's nothing but corners getting drafted into this league. Alrighty then. What does Puka have? Grab and smash, short out, mid in, short elite, route technician. Who else? Who else had a lot of catches here? What's Rashee Rice has? He's superstar. He's got short in, persistent, and second win. I don't know. Quay Walker led the league with Devin Lloyd in tackles. Tackles for loss went to Josh Hines Allen. Sacks went to Nick Bosa, Will Anderson, Aiden Hutchinson, Josh Hines Allen. Interceptions, Dominic Jackson. Will Johnson has been playing. He gets 6 sacks this season in whatever playbook the Jags are in. He's got reinforcement strip. I mean, we went over this before, but I don't know. Do you copy what he has? Or is it just the playbook? Or is it just the player? All right, let's take a look at this matchup here. We have the Seahawks. They're only a 9-8 team, but they got some players on here. I'm just going to go through their roster. I mean, they did a really good job building this team for the most part. I mean, they still have Jackson Smith and Jigba. They picked up Micah Parsons. They picked up Josh Allen. They picked up Jahmyr Gibbs. Byron Murphy's a beast. They picked up Jameson Williams. So they've really added some people in the offseason. But we just beat them. Well, the last couple off seasons they did. But we just beat them 31-23 on the road. And now we play them at home. Show you who's in the playoffs. The Patriots have the number 1 pick. You got the Raiders versus the Jaguars, Bengals versus the Ravens, Texans versus the Bills, the usual suspects. The Rams, of course, they get number 1. They got Dylan Raiola. He's playing amazing. We take on the Seahawks, the Cowboys, take on the Lions, and the Bears take on the Eagles. So let's advance together and see if we can make our run here with all the changes that we made. We also switched right tackle and left tackle. We switched a bunch of stuff. So it kind of paid off on the last 9 games of the season, I would say. And let's see if it will work in the playoffs. Oh, yes. And we get a home game. Still get a home game. 27-21. We beat the Seahawks 2 weeks in a row. Let's go. Drew Aller got hurt, and Hunter Tramer had to come in and play very nicely. How about the backup boost there? Shaw Tootin got shut down a little bit on the ground, but through the air he had 6 for 83 and 1. Seems like the that our quarterback threw to him very nicely. I want to show you what our quarterback looks like. He's over the top 2, and look, no throw a ball away, paranoid and conservative, and he fed our running back. So I don't know. It looks like he can get it done. All right, let's do some strategizing, and then we'll take a look at the Cowboys because they're a pretty good team too. All right, so we're taking on the 10-7 Cowboys. They're 86 overall team, 91 on offense, 81 on defense, and they're missing a player here. They're 10th in points, 20th in pass yards, 5th in rush yards, 15th in points against, 22nd in pass yards against, and 8th in rush yards against. We'll take a look at their team real quick. Of course, they have Arch Manning, who has Freight Train on him. That's weird. Ashton Genty, who has Wrecking Ball. He's a 99 overall player. Wide receiver-wise, they still have CeeDee Lamb, who's a 97 overall player, and they picked up Isaiah Bond from us. So we got a revenge game narrative. They have Trey Harris, who's an 80 overall team. Mitchell Winkler, that's a great name for a white wide receiver. Winkler, he couldn't have a whiter name. Jake Ferguson still kicking for them. Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith. So they're hurting there at left tackle. BB's still good. Ernest Green's awesome. DJ Glaze, he's 79 overall. So their tackles suck. Julius Truman's not the best. They're missing their best right end. So they're down to a bad player there. They have Jeff Jett, who's an 84 overall player. He was on our radar, someone to pick up, but he was only 6'2", 295, so we didn't draft him this last year. They have Abdul Carter, and they stole him from us. We wanted. He was our Micah Parsons replacement. Marquis Hearns, he's an 86 overall middle linebacker. Clay Moore. Their corners suck. I mean, their defense is absolutely should be cooked. So this should be a win. They have a good offense, maybe a higher scoring game, but we're home, and I expect this to be. I mean, I feel like the last couple times I expected a win, especially that Super Bowl against the Ravens. That did not go our way. Yes, 35-28. We get the win. Oh, we got a big matchup on the road against the Rams. But let's take a look at our game here. We knew it would be a higher scoring game, 35-28. Drew Aller, 338 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. Shaw Tootin, only 41 yards and a touchdown. Durbin had 7 for 100. Xavier Worthy had 7 for 90. George Hill had 8 for 65. Gentry had 7 catches for 63 yards and 2. Yeah, I think it's something to do with the quarterback and not checking it down, but all right, we won. We won. We did what we had to do, and that's it. So let's do some strategizing, and we will take a look at this Rams team that's really good. Right, so we are taking on the Rams in LA. They're 12-5. We're 10-7. They're an 88 overall team, 91 on offense, 85 on defense. They were third in points, second in pass yards, 24th in rush yards, 13th in points against, 27th in pass yards against, and 8th in rush yards against. And they have some really good players here. We'll just quickly go over the top of their team. I would say their defense definitely has some holes in it, but they have a Puka Nacua who absolutely destroyed it this season. He's 30 years old, 99 overall. He's in the slot, and so we moved McKinstry in there too. Dylan Raiola has been nothing but an absolute beast since he got to the Rams. Of course, they have a Jared Verse who's out this week. Deion Walker they picked up. He's a monster, and they have a really good offensive line, but besides Malik Muhammad and, a missing Jared Verse, they do have their holes. Let's advance to see if we can get back to the Super Bowl on the road against the best team in the NFC. Yes, we're going back to the Super Bowl, baby. We made all the necessary changes. We saved the season, and look at this. Drew Aller, 422 yards, 4 passing touchdowns. Bayshaw Tootin had 16 for 70 and 2 receiving touchdowns. Xavier Worthy, 12 receptions, 162 yards. Bayshaw Tootin, 8 for 76 and 3. Where was this catching prowess all season? James Durbin in the slot, 6 for 75 and a touchdown. George Hill, 6 for 61. Look at the defense. Shamar Stewart had 2 sacks. Daryl McDowell had a sack. D'Angelo Duvall had a sack. And no interceptions. Oh, we're taking on the freaking Bengals of all. Oh, yeah. Just amazing. Got to take on Joe Burrow, the cheat code in that playbook. But there you go. Here is the players of the week, Drew Aller and Shamar Stewart, taking on Joe Burrow and a cornerback named Hill. Oh, God. Joe Burrow had 400 passing yards, 5 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. Yikes. All right, well, we got to play that in the Super Bowl. So looking at award winners for the season, Joe Burrow is your MVP. He beats out Jordan Love and Dylan Raiola. Coach of the Year is Lois Fox. By the way, MVP jinx in the Super Bowl? I think so. Come on, let's get that. Puka is your Offensive Player of the Year. He's always there in the conversation. Aiden Hutchinson, always in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, if not the Player of the Year. Demarius Pearman, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Marquise Hearns beats out his teammate Jeff Jett for Defensive Rookie of the Year. Why is that Cowboys playbook playing so well and not ours? Jordan Love is the best QB. He's always in the conversation. Bayshaw Tootin is your best RB. Let's go. Best wide receiver, Puka. Best O-lineman, Addison Nichols of the Cardinals. Aiden Hutchinson, best D-line. Best linebacker is Jared Verse. Beats out Kayvon Thibodeau. And best defensive back is Malik Muhammad. Best kicker, John Love. So as we look at this Bengals team, they are 12-5, 87 overall team, 88 on offense, 87 on defense, first in points, first in pass yards, 29th in rush yards, 19th in points against, 31st in pass yards against, and 15th in rush yards against. They are not a very good team, and also they got a handful of injuries. They're missing T. Higgins, who's an 80. He's down to an 80. DJ Turner, who's an 84. Emeka Ibuka, he is a 90 overall wide receiver. They're missing 2 of their top wide receivers. Tate Ratledge is an 82. overall, and cornerback Ron Neal. So they're missing 2 wide receivers, 2 corners, and a right guard. Looking at their team, Jamar Chase, absolute phenomenal beast, and he's in the slot for them. 99 overall. Joe Burrow, 97 overall. You got Abuka who's out. Caleb Downs, who I think we thought of taking. I'm not sure, but he's a 92 overall X Factor. Chandler Flattery, he is a 90 overall defensive tackle. He's had a pretty good year, superstar. Harold Perkins, 90 overall X Factor, outside linebacker. Chris Jenkins is an 89 overall. Luke Haas, 26-year-old, 89 overall. Tight end. Darian Price, 27, 88 overall, 94 speed and acceleration. Agility, 70 strength. So they have a really good team. Let's get into this and see if we can get our first Super Bowl against a really good team. All right, well, we're going to pick it up here in the first quarter. It's 0-0. We got the ball, 3rd and 1. Still driving, and we get the touchdown. We take a 7-0 lead. It's now 7-7 with the insta score. Bengals have the ball. They take a 10-7 lead. Into the second quarter, they still have the ball. And we are 1st and goal. We score, take a 14-10 lead into the third quarter. We're driving. We take a 21-10, 28-10, 28-17, 10 minutes left in the game. We have the ball, 35-17, laying it on, 5:50 left, 42-17, 42-24, under 2 minutes to go, 40 seconds left.
Well, partner, under the lights in primetime, this offense, they gave the nation quite a show, putting up that many points to come away with what will certainly be a memorable win for them.
And, Brandon, I think it's as simple as this. Some players, some teams, they're just meant for the big stage. And when they get a chance to play in this type of atmosphere, where all eyes are on them and all the lights are shining brightly, they show up and they show out.
Commissioner Goodell on the podium, going to present the Lombardi Trophy to the New Orleans Saints. On top of the world, they are your Super Bowl champions.
42-24 is the final. Drew Aller, 146.3 passer rating, 405 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 sack, 30 out of 40 throws, 75% completion percentage. Bayshaw Tootin, 16 for 53 and 3.3 yards a carry and a rushing touchdown. Tootin did have 6 catches for 124 yards and a receiving touchdown. Xavier Worthy had 10 catches, 108 receiving yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. George Hill had 7 for 84. Durbin had 3 for 43. Gentry had 3 for 25. And London Humphreys had 1 for 24 or 21 and a touchdown. Defensively, oh my lord. Daryl McDowell had 3.5 sacks. And Shamar Stewart had 2 with Lander Barton at half a sack. No interceptions. I'll be interested to see who the MVP is. But, dude, we have to bring back Drew Aller now, right? I hope so. We got to move some money around. This is crazy. All right, well, we finally did it. We got the Super Bowl. Bayshaw Tootin, leading us in receiving is what we expect. And I hope that can continue forward into next season. Because I think we got one more really good season with him left as far as trying to maximize his receiving prowess. And looking at the 2031 season recap, Drew Aller is your Super Bowl MVP. The New Orleans Saints are 2-time Super Bowl champions.